Hi guys, I'm Lindsay.
And I'm Mike.
And this is the Disney for Couples podcast. We do Disney ride recaps, talk about mini date night ideas, and share our thoughts about Disney World and what's going on. Most importantly, this is your hub of information for everything related to Disney adults. There is no family or kid-oriented content here because Disney is no place for kids.
Ew. How are you?
I'm okay.
Yeah,
how are you?
I'm doing well.
Oh, good. I mean, I've seen you all day.
Yep.
We live together, so there's nothing new to find out, but I'm good. Excited for Disney. We're on the countdown now. We're a certain amount of weeks away.
Mm-hmm.
And
today, Epic Universe had its media early. Was that like an early media thing?
Yeah, or at least all the media things are now on YouTube today. I don't know if it happened today, but yeah, we were watching that, and Harry Potter Land looks
Paris,
good. Whatever,
circa 1920s.
Whatever the new name of it is, it looks great. We love the Harry Potter stuff there, and the Nintendo Land looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks cool.
But for the rest of it, we weren't allowed to see any ride-throughs. The media events are different there than in Disney World, I guess. So it was like, we're going on this ride, come with us. And then the next shot would be the YouTuber, talking outside the lockers at the end of the
Shout
ride.
out to Paging Mr. Morrow. Thanks for what you could do.
Yeah, we love Nate. We watch every single thing he puts out, no matter where he is. So
Right.
Yep.
Well, today I actually had been saying to you the other day that I had kind of like a deep cut ride to break down with you.
I know you've been making me wait. I've been trying to figure out what you wanted to talk about.
I'm gonna let you take 3 guesses as to what ride or attraction you think it is, and I will limit you to one park if you'd like.
Okay.
You want me to tell you the park?
Yes.
Magic Kingdom. And you have 3 guesses for the attraction.
And it's like a deep cut. The Hall of Presidents?
No.
I can't recap that.
And that counts as one.
I don't know enough about it off the top of my head. I'm sure it's not Haunted Mansion. That's not an official guess.
Not deep enough.
Okay. Let me think. Liberty Square, Adventureland. It's an attraction. Tiki Birds?
No. Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor.
Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor. Okay. Got it.
Did
That is
you
a deep
forget
cut.
about that?
No, I was trying to place where it was because it's in that like part of the park that's in between.
It's in the purgatory of Tomorrowland.
I know. I actually love the Tomorrowland entryway. I love that
I do
walkway.
too.
And I love that ride. But I guess when you had said it's like a deep cut, I was thinking like a classic.
Oh.
So I was trying to think of what's been there forever.
No.
But I'm into it. I love the Laugh Floor. It's kind of like a must visit for me, honestly.
So why is it a must visit for you?
I love Monsters Inc. I'm a huge Monsters Inc. fan. I love Monsters University. I love, love, love that movie, that world. I even love the Dreamlight Valley characters, the Monsters Inc. Dreamlight Valley characters. And I think that is such a creative way to do an attraction. There are live voice actors and comedians thinking on their feet, really engaging with the audience. What you're hearing, what you're seeing is characters like Monsters Inc. and Monsters Inc. type characters on screen, but they're being voiced and the animations are being kind of controlled by people behind the scenes in real time. So it's just the coolest.
It really is.
It's so cool and creative.
They do a really great job of staying on top of crowd work and making it, we'll kind of like explain what it's all about, not to get ahead of ourselves, but they do a good job of making it inclusive too. It's like a really fun time for everybody, and it's a great way to relax for a little while to get you off your feet for 15-20 minutes. But so why don't you, or together, we'll kind of talk about what it's like when you're getting into the show building.
Yeah, and I always like to kind of start by giving you an idea of where it is in the park. So you scan in,
Beep, boop.
you scan into the magic.
Great day.
Have a great day. You go underneath the railroad, you walk through town square and, down Main Street, like you have to walk for everything. And to get to Tomorrowland, You make your first right when you're at the hub and spoke section, and really the main walkway, like as you pass under the Tomorrowland sign, there's not that much there, but that's where Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor is.
Right. Yep.
And it's on your right.
The right.
It's
Yep.
underneath the People Mover. You like the People Mover is going overhead.
Yeah.
And when you're on the People Mover, they talk about the ride because you're like right above it.
To the left is what I believe used to be Stitch's Great Escape, and then that awesome alien. Actually, I always screw it up, but
yeah,
I
alien,
never get to experience it.
Alien Extraterrestrial.
Yeah,
it's like
something like
Extraterrestrial Encounter or something.
Yep.
That was the greatest ride. That actually gives me a good idea for our next recap. I can recap that for you because you never went on it, and I loved it so much. I feel like I'm there still if I really think about it, because that's how much of an impression it made.
Yeah, now it's just stroller parking, right?
Yeah, it's not Stitches anymore, right? It hasn't been for a while.
it's
Yeah, I don't
kind
know.
of like
I don't
a
know
nothing
what it
space.
is. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anyway,
show building.
The show building's on the right, and when you walk in, it's kind of like, I don't know. It's your sort of run-of-the-mill queue. It's a bit dated now at this point to compare it to some of the newer queues for, newer rides, and that's to be expected. But I don't know when that attraction opened, but some of the dressing, it's just, I don't know, a little like...
It's industrial.
Yeah.
Because everything in Monsters Inc., they go to like work in Monsters Inc. They're going to work. So the building is industrial. So the laugh floor also looks industrial. It's like you walked into an office building, but there's really cute stuff around, and there's not usually a long wait for the experience, but there is a wait because it's a show. So you're waiting for, whatever, 15 minutes. So there's a lot of time to look around, and there is some really cute stuff. There's like notes on the wall, and I think there's a couple fake candy machines with funny stuff in them. So it really is well themed, even though if you weren't to like look around and take in all the details, it kind of just looks like an empty space almost.
And there's also instructions for texting the MCs during the show, because they'll drop jokes if they find them, appropriate, or if they check off on them. Yeah,
they'll pick a kid. Usually a kid.
Yeah.
They'll pick like a kid's joke to say. And the show is set like after the Monsters Inc. movie. So you're not in a world anymore
where screams.
Right. You're not in a world anymore where
the
monsters are looking for screams from children. They've already discovered like that laughter is more powerful. So
they're looking for money.
So they're looking for laughter. So that's why it's the laugh floor, because they want to make the audience laugh so they can fulfill their quota. It's like a day at work for them.
Did you notice that? I mean, I might be overextending myself here, but I think that a lot of the signage was designed at a time when texting was a bit more cutting edge, because some of the phrasing is very excited. Like, I can text. Wow.
It's like right after pagers went out, and it's like reading a Stephen King book where all the technology is like new. I remember reading a Stephen King book, and he was in excruciating Stephen King detail describing a fax machine, and it was like a big deal that needed description. So that's what it reminds me of.
So now they open the doors, you go in, they seat probably, I mean, it's a pretty big room. So I don't know how many, if you had to guess, how many people do you think at a time?
I don't know. I'm so bad at that. I mean,
to me, it looks like 100.
100, but I'm bad at that. So you could tell me it's 50, or you could be like, no, we fit 300 people in there. But
it's a good people eater.
Yeah, it's a small room. It's a small-ish room. It's not like a theater, like when you walk into Muppet Vision 3D or anything, but it's not tiny. And the seating is these long, are they blue? In my memory, they're blue. Like blue benches that you're, like plastic benches that you're sat at, next to everybody. And
there's some
I
show
guess
banter.
Kind of like you're at work, or like or it's kind of like if you were, I don't know, like part of a study for something. It's kind of like that kind of a setting where you're like...
It's also kind of like a stand-up comedy show.
Yeah, it feels a little more yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
It feels a little
But you're right.
Employee-ish to me.
It's like you're part of a test study or something
Right,
like
exactly.
that.
That's what I was trying to think of.
Yeah. So when you are coming in to sit down, already there are animated monsters on the screen. They're cute and funny. They're Monsters Inc. monsters. And they're picking people out in the crowd and telling little jokes as everybody kind of settles in.
Yeah, there's that warm-up monster. He's like, when you go to a comedy show and there's the like host and they also do like the warm-up comedy and it's like little Mike Wazowski, right?
Yeah.
Is it Mike Wazowski's
No,
little nephew?
He's in the show, but I don't think he's the one that's doing that in the beginning.
The little kid? Oh, that's not the one in the beginning?
I don't think
Maybe
so.
he's the one later who does just the kid jokes. That's Mike Wazowski's nephew or something. Yeah, there's like the host and he's also kind of like a little bit of a warm-up comic. Our robot vacuum was jealous about
His name is Dexter.
About our podcasting.
He's very
yeah, because he
needy.
takes out the trash. Anyway, there's a stage and there's the monsters. And then on the left, Roz keeps popping up.
Yes.
There's like a screen with Roz and she keeps coming to like basically yell at the monsters for not filing their paperwork and stuff. And then on the right is like a laugh-o-meter. Which as the show goes on and the audience laughs more and more, it fills up because they're trying to like reach their quota by the end of the show.
Yeah. Now we'll talk a little bit about what it's like to be in the show. So we've been a couple of times and I have to say, I always go in thinking like, I'm not gonna laugh this time. Like this is gonna be the time, and I end up laughing every single time, the whole time. Basically, they have such a good way of kind of like, honestly, picking the people out in the crowd that are probably like me, that they know are like, oh, he kind of looks like he's here with the family. Let's give him a hard time, but it's like a nice gentle ribbing. And we've seen so many times, like when someone in the audience gets called out, oftentimes the curators will go back to them. They'll keep showing them on the screen and they'll do little dances and they'll be really good sports about it. That's probably the best thing, is that everyone kind of seems to be on their best behavior and is having a really good time.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of interaction. That's kind of the whole point. There's the joke you're talking about is the running this guy joke, where at the beginning they'll say, and then like this guy or whatever the joke is, then this guy, and they'll have, because there's a person in the audience or in the room with a camera who's moving around to like film people close up.
People walking around with microphones for crowd participation.
So whatever that camera person is filming, you can see that also on screen, like on the screen in front of you on one of the screens.
Yep.
And so the running joke is like this guy, and then throughout the whole show, they'll keep coming back and they'll say like, just like that guy, and it's always the same guy. And they always pick, I've gone to that show so many times, and they always pick kind of like a guy, like a man usually. I don't think it's usually a kid. It's like a man who just kind of looks like maybe they have to come out of their shell.
Yeah.
You know, but they're like not grumpy looking, just kind of right in the middle. But then by the end of it, they have to dance.
Yep.
And they're always good sports about it. It's a lot of fun. The first few times I went to that, because I went to Disney for a long time before you did, so I'd been to that show many times before you and I went. I must have done it maybe 2 or 3 times before I even realized that it was a live show.
Oh, really?
I thought that the people that they're like calling out, I thought they were plants. So I thought it was a pre-recorded show with people who were in the audience like as plants, or maybe even like pre-recorded, video of people who you're just made to think are in the audience, but they're not really. And then I remember thinking like, wait, but that was different than the last time. And like, could it be live? And then I went home and like looked all of it up, and I was so impressed. The humor is very Disney. It's like kids love it.
Yep.
So it's kid appropriate, of course, but it's also like very funny. So it's like,
Yeah.
you know, there's jokes for adults. It's exactly what
And none
Disney
of it's
is like
risque.
No.
Yeah.
And there's different comedians who come up and they have like kind of their own personalities. Yeah. And their own like style of comedy. So
in your memory, how does it start to wrap up? Does Mike, when I'm so bad at recollecting, which is funny to be doing this. So like, when does Mike Wazowski come in?
I don't remember exactly, but I think that toward the end, you meet his nephew. Yeah. And his nephew he's really cute. He's like a little kid with the little kid voice. Mm-hmm. And he reads the kid jokes that were texted in, I think, during the pre-show or when you're just waiting. Mm-hmm. And he also talks to a kid in the audience. So there's like an interaction thing where he's talking to a child in the audience and trying to get them to like engage. And sometimes it doesn't work and the kid's really shy. And it's interesting to see how the actors behind the scenes have to kind of like think on their feet. And they're just so good at it. There really is never a blip. There's never a dud of like a show. It's excellent. Yep. But I don't know. I think that at the end you just kind of just filled up the laugh meter and it's like, okay, thanks for coming, guys. And you all like file out.
I also don't really remember what it's like when you're exiting. Well, do you
go right out? You might go right
out through the same doors.
No, you go like across.
I thought so.
Yeah. And I don't know. You might go
outside.
I don't think
there's you on the other side of like where Carousel of Progress is. Because that would be what's behind that building.
I feel like it's the other direction, but I honestly can't remember. I don't think it's a very notable exit queue or anything like that. I think you just end up kind of like
it's like when you get off Star Tours almost. It's kind of just like, well, no, because that is a full gift shop.
Star Tours? Yeah. Has a gift shop?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. Oh. I can't remember. I haven't been on Star Tours that much, although I love it. And you know, in our trips, we haven't gone on it that many times.
So that's kind of what you get with Monsters, Inc. Laugh Floor. Mm-hmm. Highly recommend it. As the guy every time who goes, I'm gonna be grumpy this time. I'm not gonna laugh.
It's not gonna be good. It's not good. I don't know why we're going on it. No, it's really good. It's definitely a little bit overlooked. I think it's like kind of underrated for what it is, and it's just really cute and. Anything at Disney that you can like get on without having to get a lightning lane for it, without having to wait for a ton of time.
There's usually not a wait, like a significant wait on that attraction.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been there when it's like you have to wait for 2 rounds of the show. No. You know? Yeah. So, yeah, it's definitely on my list.
So like in our last episode when we did the let's like have a little date and do a few things, I had sort of a version of that. Okay. If you would like to hear. So, get to Disney World, go to Tomorrowland, and we indulge in a little Monsters, Inc. Laugh Floor, get the sillies going. And then after, I thought I could do a little spin on Tomorrowland Speedway, which is another one that usually doesn't have too bad of a wait.
Yep, and good views.
And then, the launching pad is what it's called?
The launching pad, yeah. That's kind of like, you kind of like eat outdoors.
After we do some Tomorrowland Speedway, I thought we'd get a little something cold there.
Yep, very good. Yeah. I would also maybe, if you're not hungry for like dinner, they have a frozen lemonade.
That's what I was thinking of.
They have a frozen lemonade like cart.
Is that where Paige and I got the things? Maybe. The Minute Maid drink.
But I don't think that, like, you know, ice cream carts are all over Disney World, but I don't think all of them have that frozen lemonade because I remember, like, really wanting it and trying to, like, look for it one day, you know, there. So, yeah, can I like, build onto your... So I would go a little bit in the evening instead of the afternoon, and I would do...
What am I thinking? Too hot.
And I would do the Laugh Floor. The Speedway, 2 fun, you know, even the Speedway can be like a little romantic for a little mini date night. And then I would get a frozen lemonade
Uh-huh.
and I would eat it with you. And you can have your own or you can share mine
Thank you.
watching the fireworks. Now, in our last episode, we talked about how if you want to avoid the madness of watching the fireworks from Main Street or the Hub, you can go by the carousel in Fantasyland. You get a good view of the fireworks, not the show, not the projection show, but the fireworks. But you also get a good view over in Tomorrowland.
Yes.
A very good view, kind of like in that big open area, like in front of Space Mountain.
Yep.
So if you could time it, you could be on the Speedway when the fireworks are going, and or kind of like standing over there enjoying them. And the nice thing about being not on Main Street during the fireworks show is that the park is practically empty because everybody's watching it.
Yeah.
And you can get on rides, and it's just like a lovely little, we like to think of a Disney date night as a pocket of time where you can do something at your leisure that's fun and enjoyable and easy, not like something that needs to be pre-planned or has a ton of a wait or that you need a reservation for. Just something super easy.
Right.
There's also that cute new gift shop over there.
Oh, yeah.
If you wanted to duck in, the one that you get on after Tron.
Right.
But it's new and you don't have to be on Tron to go into it. And it doesn't have anything in there that I would necessarily want, but it's fun to look around, and they have a lot of unique stuff that really you can only find there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Cool. What's on your mind? Any other Disney stuff you wanted to dig into?
What's on my mind about Disney? I don't think anything too topical right now. I am wondering how the crowds are going to be at Disney World with Epic Universe open. I have high hopes that maybe when we go in a few weeks that they're not that maybe they're a little thinned out because there's a lot of people going to Epic Universe.
I have the odd feeling that it's going to be more busy because of Epic Universe.
Yeah, that's also possible, that more people are going to Florida in general to go to Epic Universe and then therefore also spending time at Disney. Really what I want to know, this isn't Disney, but I would love to know if, and I wonder if anybody's going to be talking about it. I find that a lot of the vloggers only cover the popular thing when I kind of always want to know the other stuff.
Yeah.
But I wonder if the Harry Potter sections of Universal that aren't in Epic Universe, if they're going to have lower visitation, which I would love because when we were there, we loved it, but it was so busy. It was so crowded.
Yeah, there was a weekend too.
Was it?
I think so.
God, what were we thinking? But I would love to go there. If everybody's at Epic Universe, I would gladly skip Epic Universe to be able to go to the other two Harry Potter sections without the crazy crowds.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if we're going to have any way of knowing that. I feel like very few vloggers and influencers are going to be not going to Epic Universe, but maybe we'll get lucky.
We'll see.
What about you? What's on your mind?
Just that I really want to learn the song from the 30s short when they're at the beach. They go on Aloha something.
Oh, the Hawaiian Mickey and Minnie short?
Yeah, I love there's a couple of cute tunes in that, and I want to learn one of them.
Yeah, she plays a ukulele in that, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute. You should do that. And then we could add that as the exit music.
It as the music.
Yeah. Excellent.
Well, thanks so much, guys, for hanging out with us. I'm Mike.
I'm Lindsay. Stay young at heart, just like Walt would want.